chosen one. If these words reach you, it's because your spirit is awake, and your soul can already feel the trembling beneath the surface. The world is holding its breath right now, and deep inside, you know something massive is coming. This silence isn't peace. It's the stillness that comes before divine revelation, the quiet moment before thunder splits the heavens. For months, God has been whispering into the hearts of His chosen ones. When it begins, start hiding. Not in fear, not in shame, but in obedience. Because what's coming isn't chaos, it's separation. The moment when light will no longer coexist with the dark. You can feel it, can't you? The air feels heavier. Time moves strange. People act like they're asleep, chasing shadows, arguing over illusions, blind to what's about to unfold. But you, chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. You were born to notice the shift. Look around. Systems are collapsing one by one. Politics, currency, technology, morality, everything built on illusion is crumbling like sand. And yet, the world calls it progress. They can't see that what's dying was never real to begin with. The storm isn't coming for you. It's coming because of you. Because light entered the world and darkness panicked. The signs have been everywhere. The moon has changed color, the winds have turned direction, and nature itself groans like a living prophecy. Animals migrating to strange places, the oceans vibrating, even the stars shifting in their patterns. It's as if the universe itself is rearranging to make space for something holy. This isn't random. This is the divine timeline activating. God said there would come a moment when He'd begin exposing everything, every hidden hand, every false prophet, every mask pretending to be light. And when that happens, His people must move in silence, not because they fear the world, but because the world will no longer understand them. You are being repositioned, not removed, hidden, not forgotten, like a seed buried before it blooms. The manipulation, the lies, the distractions. They've all been designed to keep you busy while the real war, the spiritual war, unfolds behind the scenes. They called it entertainment. They called it news. But it was all programming, preparing the masses to accept the counterfeit light when it appears. But you, chosen one, you cannot be fooled. Your intuition has been screaming lately. Haven't you felt it? The sudden urges to disconnect from people, the sleepless nights, the flashes of deja vu, the dreams that feel more real than waking life. These are not coincidences. These are activations. The universe, no, heaven itself, is aligning you with your original assignment. That's why God said, hide when it happens. Because while the storm shakes the surface, He will strengthen your foundation. Those who laughed at your faith will soon witness what you were preparing for. Those who said you were paranoid will run to you for clarity when the noise begins. And that noise, oh, it's coming. It will be loud, confusing, terrifying to those without discernment. But to the awakened, it will sound like music, the rhythm of prophecy unfolding. When networks go down, when truth vanishes from screens, when even your closest friends say, I don't know what's happening, smile quietly because you do. You were told before it began. You were marked long before the world labeled you crazy. Every heartbreak toughened your spirit. Every betrayal refined your faith. Every night you cried alone built the armor you'll need in this season. So don't fear what's approaching. You've already survived the preparation. When the skies darken and the storm rolls in, remember, this is not punishment. It's purification. God is not destroying the world. He's revealing it. The storm is simply the light finally confronting what hid in the shadows for too long. And when the first wave hits, when the world loses its signal and panic spreads like wildfire, you will know it's time. Time to be still. Time to withdraw. Time to trust that divine protection surrounds you, even when everything else collapses. Because the truth is, the chosen don't run, they rise. But first, they hide, not in caves, not in fear, They hide in wisdom. They hide in faith. They hide in the presence of the one who warned them long before the thunder spoke. So listen, chosen one. This is your signal. The warning before the storm has been given. Now prepare your heart, quiet your mind, and remember the words. When it begins, start hiding. For soon the light and darkness will separate, and only those who listened will stand. The storm is not coming. It's already here. Everything happening right now, from the sudden blackouts to the mysterious digital resets, was planned long ago. You think it's coincidence. It's not. This has been in motion for centuries, hidden beneath politics, technology, and religion, crafted by forces who've always known this moment would come. The world has become a stage, and the script was written long before you were born. Governments, just the actors, corporations, the props. The true directors have never appeared in the credits, and while humanity was distracted by screens, trends, and noise, they were quietly building a system. One that controls not just what you see, but what you believe. But something unexpected happened. God placed His chosen ones inside that system, invisible, hidden in plain sight, to break it from within. That's you. You started feeling it months ago, didn't you? The uneasiness, the sleepless nights, the pulse in your chest every time you see the number 1111 flash before your eyes. That's not random. It's a divine alert, a reminder that the timeline is shifting. Because when the system resets, so does the soul of the planet. They'll call it the Great Change, the Global Reformat, or the New Order. But what it really is exposure. Every secret built in darkness is now being forced into the light. The hidden documents, the artificial signals, the manipulation behind every breaking news headline. It's all unraveling. And that unraveling isn't chaos. It's divine justice disguised as collapse. You see, for every lie they built, heaven built a truth strong enough to destroy it. And now, both forces are colliding right in front of your eyes. When the blackouts begin, don't panic. When the internet cuts off, stay calm. When the voices of influence suddenly vanish, know that it's not random. Because when silence hits the world, the divine frequency activates within the chosen. It's not about hiding out of fear. It's about receiving the download. The divine download that awakens every cell in your being, unlocking memories, intuition, clarity. You'll suddenly know what's happening without needing proof. You'll feel what's real and what's fake before it's spoken. That's your upgrade. You'll start seeing through the illusions, through the carefully crafted chaos that's designed to keep humanity asleep. You'll recognize how the world has been hypnotized through fear, entertainment, and convenience. And when you see through it, you can never unsee. That's why the world isn't ready for this. Because once the veil lifts, there's no going back to normal. Normal was the cage. The moment the chosen awaken fully, the entire system loses its power. Because fear only controls those who forget who they are. And you, chosen one, you're remembering. That's why you feel distant lately. Disconnected from the noise, from the world, even from people you once loved. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being pulled out of frequencies that no longer match your vibration. The divine realm is aligning you to receive new instructions, not from media, not from men, but from spirit itself. And here's what the spirit is saying. When it happens, hide, not to escape, but to transform. Hide your light from those who mock what they don't understand. Pull back your energy from those who drain it. Go quiet when the world screams for attention. Because in that silence, your frequency will rise. You'll start hearing what others can't. You'll see connections where others see confusion. You'll feel peace while others panic. This is the divine inversion, where what seems like the end is actually the beginning. The systems of control were built on noise, fear, and dependency. But when everything goes dark, the only light left will be the one inside you. That's what they can't control. That's what they fear. That's why the chosen were told to prepare, to unplug, to ground, to listen. Because once the storm hits and the world loses its sense of direction, you'll become the compass, not through words, but through presence. The download you receive during the silence will be your map through the chaos. You'll know where to go, what to say, and when to move. Not because someone told you, but because the divine inside you will lead. Everything you're seeing now, every reset, every glitch, every global shift, is part of a script they wrote. But God rewrote it. He flipped the narrative. He turned the trap into the test, and the test into the awakening. So don't fear the blackout. Don't fear the collapse. It's all part of the hidden plan that was always meant to fail. And when it does, the chosen ones will rise, quietly, powerfully, ready to build the world that comes next. Because the hidden plan isn't just theirs, it's His, and no darkness can outplay divine design. You are not random. You never were. Your soul carries an ancient signature, a divine frequency written in your very DNA. You are part of an unbroken lineage that has existed since the beginning of time. A bloodline of light chosen to awaken in this exact era, when darkness thought it had complete control. You were placed here, not by accident, not by fate, but by design. Heaven knew this season would come. The world would drown in noise, truth would be buried under algorithms, and humanity would forget its divine origin. And so, God sent His chosen, scattered across continents, cultures, and timelines, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the signal to rise. That signal is now pulsing through your veins. When God said, "Start hiding," He wasn't telling you to vanish from the world. He was telling you to withdraw from distortion, to pull away from the screens, the constant chatter, the artificial chaos. Because when you step into silence, He can finally speak clearly. And in that stillness, something sacred happens. Your DNA begins to remember. You'll feel it first as energy, a subtle vibration deep within. Then visions begin, dreams that feel more real than reality, sudden memories of places you've never been, temples, stars, civilizations made of light. That's not imagination. That's ancestral memory. Your cells are decoding divine data that's been dormant for lifetimes, because you, chosen one, carry what the ancients called the codes of light. It's what prophets saw, what mystics whispered about, what the dark forces feared most. The reactivation of the divine human. When this awakening starts, your intuition sharpens like lightning. You'll think of someone, and they'll call. You'll feel danger before it happens. You'll speak words and watch them manifest in real time. The Matrix will try to convince you that it's coincidence. But it's not coincidence, it's confirmation. That's why you keep seeing 1111, 222, 555, 777. These aren't random numbers. They're frequency markers, signals from your higher self, confirming that your timeline is aligning with divine truth. You'll start noticing how time bends around you. Days feel shorter, moments stretch longer. You'll sense shifts in energy before they appear in reality. Because as your vibration rises, you move closer to divine time, not human time. And you're not the only one. There are others, thousands across the globe, feeling the same surge of awakening. Some you'll never meet, but your souls already recognize one another. You'll cross paths in dreams, feel each other's emotions, share the same visions. Because the chosen are connected through one sacred field, the network of light. This network isn't visible to the eye, but it's alive, humming beneath the surface of everything. Every time you meditate, pray, or send love into the world, that energy amplifies. It strengthens the grid. It wakes another soul. And slowly, the divine bloodline reassembles. The dark forces have tried to stop this for centuries, through division, through fear, through distraction. But you can't stop what was written in heaven. The awakening of the chosen bloodline was prophesied, and no system can silence it. You'll feel waves of emotion during this process. Joy, grief, confusion, bliss. It's all part of the recalibration, because every trauma you've healed, every heartbreak you've survived, has been preparing your vessel to carry more light. This is not spiritual fantasy. This is genetic awakening. Science calls it mutation. Heaven calls it activation. You'll start to crave truth like air. Lies will physically exhaust you. Toxic environments will drain you instantly, because your energy field no longer tolerates distortion. The chosen aren't here to preach. They're here to embody. Your very presence carries frequency. When you walk into a room, energy shifts. When you speak, people listen. Not because of your words, but because your vibration carries authority. And soon, when the divine signal fully drops, something extraordinary will happen. Every chosen across the planet, from the deserts to the cities to the mountains, will feel the same surge at once. Their lights will synchronize. The Earth's magnetic field will shimmer like gold, and the sleeping souls will finally sense it, the vibration of truth rising through everything. That moment will mark the beginning of the Great Awakening. You'll understand then that every heartbreak, every loss, every lonely night, it was never punishment. It was initiation, because only those who walked through darkness without losing their faith could carry this light. So remember this, chosen one, the awakening isn't coming. It's already here, inside you. You are the bloodline. You are the bridge between heaven and earth, and everything that's happening around you, every sign, every synchronicity, is proof that the divine plan is unfolding perfectly. This is what you were born for. This is why you were chosen. And this is the awakening of the bloodline. The reason you've been attacked, rejected, isolated, is because darkness saw your light long before you did. It recognized your power the moment you were born. It saw your mission before you could even speak it. And ever since that moment, it's been trying to shut you down, using people, pain, and situations as its weapons. You were never unlucky. You were targeted, because the enemy could sense what you'd become once you woke up. But hear this clearly, God never sends his warriors into battle unarmed. You weren't meant to be comfortable. You were meant to be prepared. Every heartbreak was a sharpening of your spirit. Every betrayal was a divine test to build your discernment. Every silent night you cried alone was sacred training in divine communication. Your tears were not wasted. They were sacred codes unlocking spiritual strength. And now, as the frequency of this world shifts, the darkness is trembling, because your light is awakening. That's why everything feels heavy right now. That's why your dreams are intense. That's why people you thought were friends suddenly turned cold. It's not random. It's spiritual warfare. You've entered the final stage of activation, and when the light of God within you starts to rise, the shadows panic. That's why he said, when it happens, hide. Because when divine revelation strikes the earth, those who walk in deception won't understand what's happening. The illusion will start collapsing. The systems built on lies will start glitching. And those who sold their souls for temporary power will start losing everything they worshipped. That's when you, chosen one, must stay still. No arguing, no proving your point, no explaining your path. Just watch, because chaos will expose itself. God is about to flip the entire script, and those who mocked you will be silenced by the truth you carry. Your silence will be your sword. Your peace will be your protection. Your stillness will be your shield. You've already been through the storm. You've already faced the betrayal, the gossip, the loneliness, the heartbreak, and you're still standing. That means darkness failed. The attacks weren't punishment. They were confirmation, proof that you carry divine purpose so powerful that hell itself took notice. And now, as the timeline splits between truth and illusion, light and shadow, you must remember, you were chosen not to react, but to rise. You are the one who will remain calm while the world loses control. You are the one who will hear the divine frequency while others hear static. You are the one who will shine in silence as false power collapses under its own weight. Because the light you carry doesn't just expose, it transforms. And transformation terrifies darkness. That's why it tried to distract you with drama. That's why it sent energy vampires into your life. That's why it whispered lies into your mind that said, "You're not enough. You're falling behind. You're forgotten." But you were never forgotten. You were hidden until the appointed time. And that time is now. The earth is shaking not in fear but in awakening. Every blackout, every sudden silence, every strange energy shift. It's not chaos, it's calibration. God is aligning timelines, separating truth from illusion, purpose from distraction, warriors from wanderers. And when the final wave comes, when it happens, don't run, don't panic, don't try to explain. Just hide in your light, because those who carry truth don't need to shout. Their presence alone shatters deception. Soon, the entire world will witness what you've been sensing in your spirit for months. A divine reset, a purge of false power, a return of divine order, and you, chosen one. You won't need to announce your victory. The world will see it. They'll see it in your glow, your peace, your authority. They'll see it when the ones who lied crumble under their own shadows. They'll see it when divine light fills the sky and every hidden truth comes roaring out of the dark. So stay silent when it happens. Let the noise destroy itself, because your time to speak will come after the storm. And when that moment arrives, your voice will carry the thunder of heaven itself. The world will finally realize you weren't crazy. You were chosen, and darkness feared your light all along. When everything goes dark, when the noise stops, when the world holds its breath, remember this: you are not alone. Heaven already assigned every protector, every angel, every unseen force you'll ever need. They've been walking beside you, guiding you, shielding you, even when you thought no one cared. The collapse you see now is not chaos. It's divine calibration. It's not destruction. It's the reset of creation itself. The world was never ending. It was rebooting under the original frequency of divine law. This is the moment prophets spoke about. This is the storm that wakes the sleeping. And you, chosen one, were placed in this era not to fear it, but to lead through it. That's why God said, when it happens, hide. Not in fear, not in weakness, but in wisdom. Because when the systems fall, the noise will rise. Confusion will flood the airwaves. False leaders will scream louder than ever, because they'll know their time is over. And while the world spins in panic, you will stand still, silent, grounded, calm, because you already know this is how heaven builds new order. When the dust settles, you'll emerge as the blueprint of the new world. The old voices will fade, and those who walked in truth will become the foundation of what comes next. The meek, those who loved, forgave, and endured, will inherit the earth. The silent, those who stayed faithful in the dark, will speak with thunder. And the chosen, those who carried divine fire inside them, will finally rise in their full celestial authority. Understand this: God hid you to prepare you. He covered you not to punish, but to protect. Because if you had been revealed too soon, the world would have tried to corrupt you. He needed you to grow in secret, to master your energy, to learn the sound of His voice in solitude. And now that training is complete. This is the unveiling. This is the revelation moment. The plan that was hidden for generations is activating through you. So when it happens, when the skies turn strange, when the grids flicker, when the air feels heavy, do not panic. Do not resist. Just breathe and remember who walks beside you, because everything you see collapsing is making room for what you were born to build. You are not watching the end of the world. You are witnessing the rebirth of divine order. God said, "When I shake the world, hide for a moment, then rise. For the old must fall before the light can reign." And that time is now. Every delay, every heartbreak, every season of silence, it all led to this one sacred activation. Heaven didn't forget you. It was orchestrating everything for perfect timing. You were not just chosen to survive. You were chosen to rebuild, to speak when the time is right, to lead when others lose faith, to shine when the world forgets the light. So when the silence comes, don't be afraid. Smile, because you'll know it's the sign. The divine reset is complete. The veil is lifting, and the true ones, the pure hearts, the faithful souls, the hidden warriors, are about to rise. Now, chosen one, be still. Let heaven finish what it started. Because when the dawn breaks, you won't just witness the new world, you'll lead it.